what is up? AJ here from Fire from Heaven. Welcome to the Fire from Heaven show. So excited to finally be streaming this. Been working on it for a while. That was just a demo of a song I've had for quite a while, and I haven't released it yet, but plan on it sometime. And I'm going to share a few more demos throughout the show, as well as some mythical motivation, some epic reading from my book, The Hellstormer, that's based on my album, The Hellstormer, that I'm currently working on, and maybe some other stuff. We'll see, but we're going to get right back into the content. Thank you for joining me. What's up? Welcome to Riff of the Day. I'm experimenting a little bit with how I'm recording this, so hopefully it turns out alright. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm just using straight up the phone microphone and recording my guitar live. So hopefully it all will sync together once I'm done. Riff of the Day, basically, I'm just hanging out, sort of just messing around, maybe writing a riff or two. So, yeah. Actually, I was trying to decide if I was going to do like Riff of the Day or some sort of riff tutorial or something. I might do a short tutorial for any guitarists watching. Just because I feel like that's going to be maybe a little bit more meaningful. So, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you how to write a metalcore riff, just because I can come up with something just totally off the cuff, like metalcore-y. So, for a lot of metalcore, it seems usually there's a rhythm going that's sort of like a breakdown, like, you know, whatever the drums are doing. And then it usually it's like open strings. So I'm going to show you how to write a riff kind of based on maybe some notes like that. And it's going to be, the common one, you know what I mean? But just to give you some ideas. This is kind of like the classic, like 5, 7, 8, I'm gonna go for that. I'm just gonna show a short way of doing it. And I'm gonna give it a little bit of my interpretation of how I write sort of metalcore style riffs. So one thing you gotta be good at is chugging, obviously. The other thing is I do a lot of hammer-ons and pull-offs, even with my riffs. And so that's basically going to be like one tip I'm going to give you to sort of switch things up rather than try going like open strings. So I'm going. Then you can kind of add your own twists or whatever, but hammer-ons and pull-offs are where it's at in metalcore. It just makes it sound sick. So there's a quick idea again. Hammer-ons and pull-offs. You can do open strings. There's a lot you can do with them. So that is my tip, my tutorial. That is the short guitar tutorial. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you later. All right, now it's time for the Metalhead Proverb segment of the show. Metalhead Proverb of the day. Unbecoming is he who seeks that which is not worthy of work. That is my wisdom to you. Unbecoming is he who seeks that which is not worthy of work. This is the metalhead way. It is working. It is not seeking the easy path, the path without blood and war. We seek blood and war, but not violence against our own. This is talking about the path we choose in life. The idea here is not seeking a shortcut, just putting in the work, putting in the hours, Work hard and smart. They say, work smart, don't hard. Work smart, not hard. I say, work hard and smart. Don't seek the easy path, It's vain. It's just not worth it, You put in the work, anything can happen, So, put in the work. Whatever you're doing in life, put in the work. That is my metalhead wisdom from me to you. And we'll continue the show. Mythical motivation. Becoming so motivated, you pass from history to myth and myth to legend. Living without a mission, living without a purpose, this is the problem I want to address. I want to help make you hell-bent on making your life better. You're capable of that? Yes. You are, and you can make a change today. It will take help. It will take work. It will take faith. But you need to make the choice. It is a choice that you can make. It will take work. If you're not willing to work, nothing will change. Not willing to get down and dirty, then nothing will change. Not willing to get off your high horse and realize that you're at fault and you need to change, nothing will change. If you want things to change, you're gonna have to do some things you've never done before. You're gonna have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You're gonna have to humble yourself in order to pick up your calling and rise into the person you can be. You are capable of doing this, yes, but not without work, not without suffering. If you are unwilling to work and suffer, then don't listen any further. If you want to get better, then humble yourself and admit your need to get better and realize you can't on your own either. You need purpose. You need something driving you. What is mine? My faith is my driving force. My belief that someone gave his life, not for a wretch, but for someone created in his image, someone he saw I could become. That is what drives me. My faith is what drives me. Something and someone far beyond me is what drives me. What will drive you? If you say vain things like money or success, good luck, because those things stop driving you once you have them. Then they reveal that they are lacking what you thought they had. Pursue something beyond you. Become mythically motivated. How? You have to ask yourself the question why. Why do you want to make your life better? Why do you want to be better? What goals do you want to work toward? If you don't have a great reason why, then you will fall. Because your why is going to go through hell. And if it is vain and weak, centered only on yourself, then it will not endure hell, it will fail. Have the end in mind. Where do you want to go? And what do you want to do in life? If it is vain, if it is self-centered, it has no value to you and gives no value to the world. The key to staying motivated is not listening to things like this to light a fire under your butt. Perhaps you need that at times, but I'm here to do one thing, help you become self-motivated. How do you do that? You have great motives. You have legendary motives. Those are your reasons why. Why are you working towards a goal, a desired outcome? So again, it is your why. You've got to get your why figured out first, then we can move on to the how. The how is going to be built on the why, so make it strong and able to endure all the hell that hell will throw at you, or it will come like a storm, strong and heavy. It will be clouds of devils raining down hellfire. Will your why endure? Alright, I hope you're feeling motivated and fired up and excited to make your life better, to start working towards something, a goal, a desired outcome, whatever it is. I hope you are fired up and ready to work towards something. This is part of a project I'm doing called Mythical Motivation, which is basically the same thing as Mythical Mindset, kind of something I've been experimenting with. But yeah, I'll look forward to more of those in the future. And we're going to get on to the next part of the show here in a minute. Just want to stop and say thank you for joining me. And if you enjoy the music I make, you can check it out at metalfirefromheaven.com. If you go there, you can click the sign up button on the top right of the website and you'll get a free song sent to you via email. And plus lots of other sick content. So definitely go check that out. Stay connected with me through email. And we're going to continue the show. Next up, we have an epic reading of part of my audiobook, The Hellstormer. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this after, but I'm releasing an album called The Hellstormer and simultaneously a book. So I'll talk more on that later. Enjoy. The Hellstormer. This story takes place in a world called the Hellscape. The Hellscape is as you would imagine it, an entire world under darkness, where all things are much lesser than they were, and hope seems to be completely lost. That is what this world looks like. Completely absent of light and hope, where it is ever dark, and even the light that is in it is darkness. Yet there is a very small spark, and he is called the Hellstormer, who is not named other than that, or the name called Hell's Thrall by the demon slave drivers. Now he sat in a dark dungeon where he was only allowed to sleep on cold stones under the ground, before being driven away again to work his bones to breaking. While he slept, he had a dream, yes, a dream. Not a nightmare as he always had. In it, he saw one standing atop a great mountain, looking to a beautiful sunset, and on the horizon of a beautiful world filled with light. The man he saw looked like him, only he was not bent over like a weathered old man, but great and tall, with eyes of white fire and a fierce countenance. "Wake up, Thrall," says a rough voice to him. He woke up, but it was not like before. He felt vigor. He stood up straight and realized he towered over the demon by several feet, and he took a long, deep breath, as if he was on the mountain in his dream, with the wind bringing air more fresh than any air he had breathed ever before. "Get to work, Hell's Thrall, or I shall whip you," said the voice, but it was unsure, perhaps slightly afraid. Hell's Thrall was inspired and had begun his transformation into the name he is remembered as. He walked past the demon, looking down at him with fury in his eyes. The demon tried not to cower as he walked up the great stair out of the dungeon. He entered the devil's court with a smile. All the monsters that tormented him seemed much smaller than he remembered them as. The other thralls looked up at him in awe, and in their hearts hope was rekindled. "To the throne you go, Thrall," said all the monsters in unison, as if trying to tear him back down below their own height. But alas, he was filled with righteous fury. He stopped where he stood and planted himself firmly. All was quiet. He said in a deep, thundering voice, "Nay, dark demons, I shall no longer serve thee. I shall, from now on, be free." They all laughed mockingly. Just as they did, the Hellstormer looked and saw upon a small mountain with a tower, and a great horn sitting atop it, a remnant of thousands of years past when the world was not so dark, yet it still stood. It was then that he took another long, deep breath. The monster shouted and whipped him, yet he was relaxed and not shaken at all. It was time. "Yes, it is time," he said. "It is time we no longer labor in the shadows under the dark throne of the devil and under the hand of iron-biting doom." This was the moment he was so filled with fury he could not hold it back. Like a raging storm or a volcano eruption long awaited, he let out a shout and leapt over the shield wall the demons had set against him. He ran like a great wind out of the north that had not been felt since the world descended into darkness and chaos. The tower was not far, and he ran to it swiftly. Then he climbed as swiftly as he ran to the top. As some would say, it may have been wiser to hide and gather strength in a plan, yet he knew not why, only that he was drawn to the great horn atop the old withered tower. Finally to the top, he felt the wind in his lungs flowing through his hair. He breathed deeper than ever before. It was time he told the world who he really was, the Hellstormer. And he sounded the war horn of old. The sound of the horn was heard all across the world, for all that could ever be heard were voices of woe and whips cracking. Yet they all stopped as the horn sounded, so it sounded ever the louder. Hope is rekindled. Then from very far off a figure stood from the highest peak, looking down over the world. Hearing the great horn, he stirred with rage. "Where are my priests?" shouted the wicked figure to his servant standing by. "I will go to them," said the servant in a frightened voice. Moments later, a priest comes to the Dark Lord. "Did you not prophesy against this doomsayer?" asked the devil. "Yes, my lord. There must have been a mistake. Perhaps some band of mischievous demons sounded the horn, as they like to sit on the tower and drink, or so I've heard." No, there were no demons upon the tower when it was sounded. It was a man. The demons shuddered in fear. They knew what this moment meant. Perhaps now it is time for their doom. Alright, and that was a sneak peek of the audiobook for The Hellstormer. Like I said before, we played that. I am working on this album called The Hellstormer, and with it I'm releasing an audiobook, and I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to do like a real book or not. Maybe I can get some feedback from you if you would like that or not. But the focus is going to be the album and the audiobook, and basically I'm here to ask you if you want to help support this project. And there's going to be a lot of work that has to go into it, a lot of tools and a lot of production. And part of me wants to make this a whole big thing where I hire voice actors and stuff, but I might just narrate the whole thing myself for now anyways. But I need help with making it, so with making the music and the book. And really the main thing I need help with is having more time available. So I have a Patreon page that has a certain goal set on it, and once we reach that, I'm going to be able to go full time with my music. I don't expect it to happen right away, but when I'm able to do that, that's all I need to make tons of music, content, audiobooks, even beyond this album and book that I'm working on. So if you want to help support this project on a consistent monthly basis, I have Patreon tiers starting at like $1.97 a month. With that, you get like early access, exclusive content, and then there are some higher up tiers around, I think it's like the $10 tier or something, where when I release this album, The Hellstormer, and the audiobook, I'm going to be releasing an exclusive album for Patreon members as well. So if you want to be a part of that, if you want to be a part of making these projects and helping me bring them to life, then check out my Patreon page, patreon.com/fellowship of fire from heaven. Join the fellowship. And we're going to get on to the next part. We're almost finished with the show. I'm going to play my latest song that was just released online this Friday. Is a metal cover of The Council of Elrond, which is a soundtrack from the Lord of the Rings movies. And then we're going to play something you all been waiting for. I'll see you later.
light of the secret fire. Beyond the flame of an earth, you cannot pass. The dark fire will not avail you. Flame of Udun, go back to the shadow. You shall not pass. To me, go back to the shadow. You shall not pass.
Alright, that is the conclusion of the Fire from Heaven show. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you want to recommend you would like to see in the next show, let me know. Like I said, I need help making these projects, bringing them to life. The best way you can do that is by joining the Patreon, patreon.com/Fellowship of Fire from Heaven. Other ways you can do that, you go to my website and there's a donate button, the buy me a coffee button where you can donate a couple of dollars if you'd like. But again, you can get the first Patreon tier for less than $2. Other ways you can support is by checking out my merch shop and buying some CDs or some merch. And those are really the best ways you can help support this project. Thank you so much, and I plan on doing these shows. It's hard to say if I can do it on a weekly basis, but if we reach the Patreon goal in the next couple of months, I'll definitely be able to do this show every week. It might be every other week right now, but we'll see. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time. Stay metal, stay real, take massive action, storm hell.